Other interesting political news, you have Trump saying to make Canada the 51st state, and we're subsidizing them by about $100 million, which, I don't know, that's so much money wasted on Canada. I mean, at least they do a little bit more than other countries in terms of, trading between us, but they're obviously getting the better end of the deal. I can't help but fathom how many extra gallons of maple syrup they're buying, how many more hockey pucks they're buying with all the money they make off us. Now, this comes to us thanks to Donald Trump post from True Social, which A plus for marketing. This is on X or Twitter. You know exactly what this profile is all about. Now he says, Trump says, "quote No, well, should I try the Trump accent? It's probably the worst attempt at a Trump accent, but nevertheless, I'll make the attempt." No one can answer why we subsidize Canada to the tune of over $100 million a year. Makes no sense. Many Canadians want to be Canada becoming the 51st state. They would save massively on the taxes and military protection. I think it's a great idea. 51st state, which maybe it probably was the worst impression you heard all year, but nevertheless, that's perhaps an accolade in and of itself. I'm only partially kidding. And this is what Trump tweeted a couple days ago. And yeah, $100 million per year. That's ridiculous. Which, yeah, and I'm not a big fan of doing a lot of business with these governments that also don't have the same ideologies or morals of us. Never forget, Canada disarms their people. They don't have the right to self-defense. In fact, their dictator, president, Julio Castro, Justin Trudeau, he said multiple times you don't have the right to defend yourself with a firearm, and they confiscate firearms over there. They also confiscate bank accounts when they had the truckers peacefully protesting and people who donated to them. So, yeah, I don't know how many people actually like Justin Trudeau. And never forget, when they asked him what country and leader do you admire, Justin Trudeau said the leader of China because of how they could respond to the pandemic, aka complete totalitarian authoritarianism. Now, going to the comments, again, it got 1.4 million views and 22,000 likes. Well, first comments comes from Fred Texton, says, quote, "Why in the world would we subsidize Canada? It's not like they're a third world country. They can stand on their own 2 feet. Quit giving them money," getting 67 likes. Which, yeah, that's a damn good question. Light for the Light says, "Don't you see what Trump is doing? He's putting indirect pressure on Trudeau at the perfect time," getting 606 likes. Marty Up North, unacceptable to fact checked. It's a long name. Nevertheless, says, quote, "With all due respect, Mr. President, $100 million isn't not enough to buy one F-35C fighter jet." Most certainly it is. He says, quote, "This week our finance minister Freeland announced our deficit is $62 billion. That's $162 million every day," which, yeah. Why do they keep electing leftists? Because they keep, no one is better at burning money and running countries into the ground than leftist leadership. Look at California, or Illinois. Always deficits, and New York, deficits, and yeah. And he also says, shit, Biden said billion to Ukraine during his presidency. He says, I bet you Hunter Biden stored more than 100 million Coke. Let's be real, Mr. President. U.S. does not subsidize Canada. We just did. I know you hate Trudeau, but give us a bit more time. We'll get rid of that idiot for you. We're your biggest ally. Why do you mock us like this? And again, there are a lot of good, freedom-loving Canadians stuck behind enemy lines. I feel bad for them. They have to deal with censorship, being oppressed constantly. And yeah, I can't help but wonder, mysteriously enough, when I look at my podcast analytics in terms of, people who listen on the Spotify and the Apple podcast, a lot of Canadians used to listen and they vanished. The views, the downloads literally vanished. I'm not sure what happened there. Speculating maybe censorship or something, but yeah, the whole country went blank, went dark. Interesting. They still tune in sometimes on the YouTube, but I partially digress. And this Canadian got 680 likes. Again, there's some freedom-loving Canadians over there. Wouldn't be maybe the worst idea to adopt them as 51st state. They had some good natural resources over there. Not the craziest idea Trump has ever had. And I know he's partially being bombastic and sarcastic. He's not actually talking about doing it. But what if he was? No, I'm just kidding. It'll be interesting, but we'll do one or two more comments here. The last carnivore says, "Oh, Canada, I feel sorry for that." It's Justin Trudeau with red eyes getting 9 likes. I also have Volk Ravel saying, "No way in hell Canada is in the situation it is because of the full socialist. The elected Fidel Castro bastard's son, for F's sake," getting 245 likes, which, yeah, that's one of my favorite conspiracy theories. And it's not out of the realm of possibility. Trudeau's mother was a nice way of saying a leftist, a promiscuous woman who went to Cuba multiple times and allegedly had slept with Fidel. So, and they also look similar and have the same political ideologies for the most part, so wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. That's just Castro's bastard of a child. Yeah, feel bad for Canadians. I hope they get some freedom soon. We'll see what happens. It is funny that Trump has these puns like this, and yeah, they certainly seem to be getting the bigger end of the stick, so to say, especially when it comes to doing business with another. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you can click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.